Hello everyone, my name is Joelle and today is a filming day for my yoga channel here on YouTube. So I thought it might be fun to take you all behind the scenes with me to show you what goes into making some of my videos. So I film almost all of my videos here in my apartment. Eventually I do hope to be making enough money to rent out a studio space, but for now this works fine. This is not the space where I personally practice yoga, but it is the only space in the entire apartment where I can film standing up. So you can see that over here we have the kitchen, and then on the other side of the filming space is the living room. So I'm gonna get started moving around some furniture here to get set up. So this is my camera. This is the Canon EOS M50, which a lot of YouTubers use. And then it just sits on top of this pretty cheap tripod that I got on Amazon. And then I also have two lights. My apartment's really dark, so it's pretty important for me to have these other sources of light. They do get really, really warm to film under, but they work well. Okay, so just before I film each practice, I do like to have a final look at my sequence just to make sure that I remember it. So when I'm preparing a practice, I usually start by writing down all of the stretches or exercises that I want to include, and then I kind of sequence them together in a way that hopefully makes sense. And then I'll show you what I see from the mat. So I have one light over here, the camera, the other light, and then I also put a timer off camera just so I can kind of keep an eye on time as I'm going. And then I'll show you what the unedited shot of the camera looks like before we get started. Okay, so I just finished filming all the videos for today. I usually try to film about 6 or so on the same day just to avoid having to move the furniture around too often. And I do switch outfits in between, which is why you can see I'm wearing a different shirt. And then over there I have my computer. So this is basically my office area, also known as the dining room table. And I'm gonna hop on my laptop now and show you a few more things. So there are a lot of steps that go into making a yoga video on YouTube. I do a lot of keyword research, so I have a couple of different tools that I use. So just to make sure that there is actually some search volume and not too much competition, so that if I do make a video, it will hopefully have a better chance of getting some traffic. And then after I've filmed a video, I will upload it to my computer, and I put it into a program called iMovie, which is just the free editing software that comes on Apple computers. It's a little bit limited, but it works fine for now. I clean it up by changing the lighting and the cropping of the video, and then it's time to record my voiceover. I used to use a stand-up microphone, but recently I invested in the Rode Wireless Go microphone, which is nice because I can just clip it to my shirt. I can use it for voiceovers, and I can also use it to talk and teach at the same time. So I record the voiceover, and then I edit the audio, which is probably the most time-consuming step in the entire process because I go through it and I cut out all of the breaths. You can see the gaps here. I cut out any times where I might have misspoken and I have to go back if I said left instead of right. And then once the video is ready, I save it and then I upload it into YouTube Studio. Now comes the time to put in that title that I researched earlier, write out the description. Down here I also need to add my thumbnails. So I use a program called Canva to do all of my thumbnails and all of my visual aids. You can see sometimes I try 2 different versions of the thumbnail just to see what, or even 3 in this case, just to see what might look better. And if you happen to be curious as to whether YouTube pays the bills, it is definitely a long-term gain. If we look at this video, which is one of the most recent uploaded to my channel, you can see that it has about 700 views and it's made, what is that, just over $5, which is pretty typical. And that's why it's so important also for me to be developing other sources of income so that I'm not so YouTube reliant, like my online programs. And then once a video is scheduled, and I do usually try to stay about 2 weeks ahead of time, I go over to my content calendar. This is basically my Bible. I would be nowhere without this document. So these are all of the videos that I have ever filmed, and I track whether the video is live, whether it's filmed, if I've done the voiceovers, if it is finalized, the day it came out, the link link for my English channel, and I also have a French YouTube channel as well. And this document is also where I track ideas for future videos, my statistics tab, which makes me look like a crazy person, but I really love analytics, just basically everything to do with the business that I am trying to build. So there you have it. Altogether, it probably takes me anywhere between 3 and 5 hours to create a 10-minute video for YouTube. I hope you learned something about all of the different steps that go into that process and that you found this video interesting. Leave me any questions, comments down below, and let me know if you would ever like to see more videos of this type. And don't worry, I will see you back on the mat in my next video for another yoga practice.